we live in a we live in a day and time where everybody is looking to gain leverage over someone else. And so that poses a problem for people who have good intentions. And I believe the women here have good intentions. So, because of that, we can't just talk about the good times. We also have to talk about situations and scenarios by which people who don't have good intentions might predate on you. Those of us that have good intentions. We're going to talk about leverage versus being predatory. And I'm going to talk about 5 men in particular that you ladies need to watch out for. At the time of this live, it is summertime. We're well into summer. And you're going to be meeting a lot of people. You're going to be networking. You're going to be meeting, mixing, and mingling. And I want you to pay attention because this conversation today is going to bring together everything that we've been talking about the last 4 months, 4 weeks about um, the types of people that are out here, the categories that we put each other in. We've been talking about that, and that is going to bring all of this stuff together today. So I'm going to get my audio together because the signal is showing very weak. So I'm going to do what I can on this end, and we're going to get started right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Inner Beauty TV. I am your host, Nicole Michelle, founder and feminine mentor for the Inner Beauty Movement. We're all about helping women reconnect with their power, their core, their essence, while simplifying the pathway to marriage. We've been in our soft girl era, our self care era, we've been in our boss girl era, we've been in all these eras. But I believe now a lot of you are walking into your wife era. And I want to be a part of that as your mentor in love, like Naomi guided Ruth. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, definitely give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. We would love to have you in our feminine tribe over here at the Inner Beauty TV. We also have an app where you can go and kind of level up in love and business, and it has pretty much everything. It has books, it has movies, it has journals, it has scriptures, it has videos, advice, exclusive advice that I don't give to the public, but to the women on the app. And it's just a ton of stuff. We also have the Future Wives Club that is up and running, baby. Let me tell you, if you are not in the Future Wives Club, you're missing out. A lot of stuff we are going to be doing in the Future Wives Club, and that is by invitation only. So shout out to the ladies that are already there. We are going to be ramping it up this summer for the women that are walking into their wife era. But shout out to you that are joining me for the very first time. Welcome. I'm very honored to have you in our space. We won't be here long. That's not the plan. I'm just telling y'all now. That is not the plan to be here long. I just want to jump into it and talk about this. Shout out to the best mods on YouTube. Shout out to you. And shout out to those of you listening to me on the other platforms. Welcome and thank you. Spread the word, like, share, and subscribe. Let the algorithm know we're live. And if you're watching live on YouTube, let us know where you are watching from. And that'll be really fun over here. Let the algorithm know that we're live and well over here. Okay. So why are we talking about predatory men? Now, on this channel, I do not like to talk about men we're not interested in, right? And I don't like to trauma bond. I don't spend a lot of time talking about the worst men because I feel like that puts you in a negative aura, puts you in a negative headspace. And really, it kind of upsets your nervous system. You're walking around on edge and you're just not in the best posture, the best headspace because you're focused on the negative aspects of men. So I like to focus on the positives of men and on what we can do to better position ourselves in the marriage market. So remember, we talked about the marriage market. That's the market that we talk about all the time here on the channel. I do not talk a whole lot about the dating sexual market or the dark market because, quite frankly, we are in our wife era over here. And so I want your focus to be on courting for marriage. Marriage. All of that other stuff keeps you locked in to temporary stuff, short term stuff. Okay, short term, not a long time, and you just get stuck into it. And so I kind of want you to get your mind into courting rather than dating. So, with that being said, I don't spend a lot of time talking about bad men. I don't spend a lot of time, but I do have to, as your mentor, warn you of the types of men that you're going to run into. And because you have a good heart and you have good intentions, he may not. And you have to be prepared for that. Hey, Tamara. Hey, bye, girl. How do you join the Future Wives Club? Shout out to California in the building. To get an invitation to Future Wives Club, you need to have purchased the Future Wives Mastery. And that is closing pretty soon, but the link is at the top. I'm running a summer sale because the course will be sunset pretty soon. So you get a significant discount on that because you're getting the self study part of the course. And once you purchase the course, you will get prompted for an invitation to Future Wives Club. And also, if you purchase the School of Arts, I believe it prompts you to purchase. So if you purchase the course today, you will be prompted to have access to the Future Wives Club. And the reason why I am gatekeeping Future Wives Club is because we're talking about stuff I cannot put on social media because people will misinterpret it and they'll take it the wrong way and they'll be often. And a lot of our conversations have been misappropriated for folks that are in the dark market. It has been misappropriated. You did? Okay. All right. So you'll probably need to send me an email so we find out what's going on. So it's been misappropriated. And as to get access, did you purchase the membership? Because if you purchase the membership or if you purchase the Future Wives Club in the last, I'm sorry, the Future Wives Mastery in the last couple of months, it comes with the invitation. So if you bought the course like years ago, it that doesn't include that. The offer is just because the club just opened. So if you purchase the course within the last, say, 2 months, you got an automatic invitation. So if you purchase the Future Wives Club a while back, you'll need to purchase the membership. Okay, no worries, no worries. All right, but your intentions may be well, but their intentions may not, and so you, in good faith, are just out here trying to be a good woman, a good person, and then people are just out here being predatory. So I have to like warn you that people are predatory out here. So if you enrolled in the Future Wives Mastery last year, you did not get an invitation to Future Wives Club because it didn't exist. So if you purchased the Future Wives Club before now, before the last, before May of 2025, then you need to purchase a membership to the Future Wives Club. All right, because it just opened. And so those people got an invitation because they just purchased the course. And the Future Wives Club just opened up. So that's why they get an invitation. So if you've had the course for some time, all you need to do is get the membership and you're already in, right? Okay, so we got to read them like a book. And I'm going to help you kind of, it kind of um recognize some men that may not have your best interests at heart. You have best intentions. And then you meet him and he doesn't have his best interests at heart. Now, I'm not saying forever and amen. Hey, Saravia, forever and amen. This is true. I mean, you always have those outliers who are different, they're trying and they're doing their best. But then you also have those that they're like wolf in sheep's clothing. All right. There's no need to email me if you purchased the course before May of 2025. You did not get an invitation. All right. If you did so, you just need to purchase the Future Wives Club. If you and if you can email me to get into the link to the Future Wives Club, to purchase the Future Wives Club. If you purchase the Future Wives Mastery course or the School of Feminine Arts course, you will get prompted and you will get an invitation to come to Future Wives Club. Just for those of you that are asking. Okay, so if you purchased it before May 25 and you have not already gotten a Future Wives Club membership, purchased your membership already, you can still join, but you'll need to email me. And don't email me if you're not ready to join. Just don't waste my time like that. Thank you. All right. So, what's the difference between leverage and predatory? Because everybody in the dating market is trying to get leverage. That's what they do. The dating sexual market is about leverage. The dark market is about leverage on the other person, right? Even marriage market, you want to position yourself the best possible way you can, and nothing's wrong with that. I don't see a problem with establishing your strong errors or your strong areas and your positions of power inside the market. There's nothing wrong with knowing your strong points. It's also very wise to know your weak points. So I don't think there's anything wrong with leverage. So everyone is trying to establish leverage. And in this context, leverage is actually normal. It's an attempt to give yourself the best possible position in the market that you're in. And in this case, we're talking about the marriage market. Now, predatory is different because predatory is intentionally seeking out the opposite sex, um that you have an advantage, an unfair advantage over with bad intentions. Leverage is just saying, hey, I these are my strong points, these are my weak points, and like this is my barrier of entry, and this is how I present myself and position myself within the market. And you can't go below that. You can't go over that. You can't overextend me or charge me more social taxes because of all of these things, because this is my leverage. And whatever taxes they charge you, go back and watch the video I did on taxes and all the taxes that you might have to pay. They can't overcharge you because you know your leverage. Most women need to learn their leverage. They don't know. They just think because I'm sexy and I'm attractive, that's enough leverage. It's really not. It's actually not your leverage. That's part of it, but it's not the sum total of your leverage with a man. And that actually puts you at a disadvantage. Pretty privilege will only get you so far because once the haze wears off that you're pretty, then you don't know your leverage. He's just like, oh, you're just a pretty face. And you actually, it's a mirage. She's like, okay, so there's nothing there after the beauty. And so now you have no more leverage other than you're pretty. So, and this is where a lot of super beautiful women miss out because they only focus on the leverage of their looks and they don't kind of spread out and magnify their leverage. They would have way more leverage. As a matter of fact, men give us leverage just for being women. Like, I should go through the point system again. We get points just for being a woman, right? Probably 1 or 2 points just for being a woman, and then if we're super pretty, that adds more points, but we lose because after that there's nothing else. And now, none of you ladies here are that, but there are a lot of women. You're like, why are you single? And it's no leverage. They don't understand leverage. Men give us so much leverage and we give it away because we don't understand. Now, in the dating, the sexual market, and the dark market, everybody's trying to get leverage. And a lot of times it's unfair, but they do try to establish leverage. Even in the marriage market, people try to establish a leverage. This is what I'm bringing. This is the value that I bring to the market. And so it's sort of like, think of leverage in the marriage market the same way you would think of it as you're trying to go buy a car or get a job. When you go to the new workplace, I like the workplace. You go to the workplace and you are interviewing for that job. You want to highlight your strong points. That's your leverage. Why should they hire you as opposed to someone else or the 10 people in the waiting room waiting to be interviewed? Why should they hire you and tell the other people to go home? Because you know your leverage and you're able to capitalize on that and highlight that. so that that is in the forefront, so that they know, hey, this person is good to hire. Put a one in the chat if you following me. Put some fire emojis. Let me know you're listening here. Okay. So if you don't know your leverage, you go in and you feel like, oh, I don't know um why I'm here. I don't know why I should get this job. You should just hire me because I put in my application. You should just hire me because my resume looks really nice. You should just hire me because my resume is full. You should just hire me just because I put in the application. You should just hire me. That's not leverage. Okay. That's not leverage, right? So that's the same thing in the marriage market. People who kind of miss out don't understand leverage. The people that benefit from the marriage market the best are people that are able to leverage and show leverage in the marriage market. Thanks, bye girl. Thank you, Saravia. Thank you so much. Right? Predatory is just intentionally seeking out people that you have an unfair advantage. That means you have more leverage over them and you want to exploit that leverage. That's what makes it predatory. For example, and I'm going to give you some examples today, and that's what makes it predatory. But saying, for example, a man who's super wealthy predating on women that are super poor, or somebody is in dire straits and then you try to exploit that situation, that's predatory, right? So being aware of predatory men is actually a very wise strategy. And as your mentor, it's my job to position you the best mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually. Get you ready for the marriage market, right? Being aware of predatory men is a very wise strategy. So just complaining about men is a low down market behavior that we just don't indulge in over here, but we must expose what, um predatory men. And when you only focus on down market men, as I like to call them, low vibrational behavior men, when you only focus on them, it kind of exposes that that's all you have access to. That's all you're dealing with. And I don't have that experience. I've had some knuckleheads mixed in there, but for the most part, I've met some awesome men. And I married the one that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. But I, in no way, shape, or form, want to just just talk about bad men all day. That's horrible. And ladies, if you're in spaces where people are just constantly talking about men and how horrible they are, they're literally telling you this is who they date. That's all they have access to. Is because if when you're dating successful men, great men, that's what you talk about. Like, why your frame of reference is wonderful, great, successful men, not horrible men. So just keep that in mind. Like, well, I want to be in spaces where women are talking about successful men that want to be married because that's what I dealt with. I don't want to be talking about horrible men. But today we're going to talk about predatory men. So don't expect, and this one thing I want to say before we go into the five men, don't expect men in the dating market and the dark market to go easy on you. Here's another fantasy I see women around social media and in real life actually believing men are going to do. They're not going to go easy on you. Now, I'm not saying men have carte blanche to just prey on women. I'm not saying men have, you know, they can just go and do whatever and get away with it, and we're going to make excuses for them. Absolutely not. What I am saying is that what I am saying is that they're not going to go easy on you, meaning they are trying to establish leverage as well. Okay. Not all men are predatory. And him trying to establish leverage is not being predatory. It's when he is exploiting his already leverage over you. That's when it's predatory. And we're going to talk about that. But just him as trying to establish leverage and establishing, look, you should respect me for these things. This is how I show up. This is what I have to offer. These things. It's nothing wrong with him trying to establish his leverage, establish why he's a good candidate, establish why he's you should let him pursue you, go out with him, why you should call him back. That's a normal thing for him to try to establish leverage. So, but he's not going to take it easy on you, especially if you're in the dark market and you're in the dating sexual market. And I'm talking to the women that are there. They're not going to take it easy on you. And that's why I constantly remind you of the marriage market. We move different, we talk different, we present different. This is why I established the Future Wives Club, so that because I'm really going to hone in on what I hear around social media and in person. I hear a lot of stuff that's confusing women, and I'm going to call it out. Just like we're going to go and we're going to dissect these online dating profiles, because a lot of what they call the blade, where people are just monetizing dating right now, that's online dating right now. And so those of you that are in the marriage market, you need to know, because you may innocently be saying some phrases that have been co-opted by other people that are in the dark market. We need to dissect it, and we need to circle our wagons around how we speak, so that when men hear us speaking, it's very clear we are moving different. And that's why I established the marriage market. I'm sorry, the Future Wives Club. So when you're in the dark market and dating sexual market, like, you get what you get. It's dog eat dog, and everybody wants to be the victim. Everybody wants this entitlement program, the welfare, sexual welfare going on. Shout out to my husband. The sexual welfare. Everybody wants sexual welfare. Everybody wants hands. Everybody wants handouts in the sexual market, in the dark market. In the marriage market, you get what you earn. You water seeks to his own level. You don't get freebies in the marriage market. And what you attract is probably where you are right there. And people get upset with that, because they want to bring dark market and dating market philosophies to the marriage market, and that's not how it works. So let's talk about uh the first group of men that are predatory. And if you follow me on IG lately, if you follow me there, I have been talking about these men. I've been talking about them. And these are men that say they're Christians. And it's layers to it, because I grew up in the church too. And I'm a church girl, still go to church, still love the Lord, all of these things. But I am even wise enough to know that a lot of men use church as a way to just get in people's panties. Like, I don't think they just go to church to get with women. I think that they go and they are trying to get sexual validation that they didn't get when they were young. And so now they look at the church, where people go because they are seeking something. They're going because they need something spiritually. They need to hear from heaven. And they go, and then they realize, wait a minute, wait a minute, all of these beautiful women up in here, honey. All these beautiful women. How can I get at it? And so you'll find a lot of women get caught up because they go to church thinking it should be a lot better than dealing with the men in the streets. I go to church, he goes to church. We should be on the same page in terms of that. But then when they get behind closed doors, he's got his hands all over her, just like a guy who hasn't been to church since 1982 Easter. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I thought that you would be a little bit different, because you go to church, or you're preaching, or you read the Bible, and things like that. I thought you were different. And you find out he's no different. You expect men that don't go to church to act a certain way. And then you find out the guys in the church can act that way and even worse. And you're like, wait, what just happened here? Why is this happening? And a lot of women get caught up in this. And a lot of women, let me read the post that I put up the other day on IG. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. It says, and I erased it. Hold on. Let me do this. So what I did was I posted on IG. Come on. Okay. So hold on. Here we go. So I posted on IG the other day. Come on, work with me. It's not the unbelievers pressuring you to have sex before marriage. It's the so called church men with Proverbs 31 bios and Jezebel expectations. I said, let's talk about the real heartbreak. You already expected pressure from men who don't know God. But what do you do when the pressure comes from the ones who say they do? The ones who preach the virtuous, but turn predatory when no one's watching. The ones who claim they want a Proverbs 31 wife, but test you like Delilah every time you're alone. The ones who say, wait until marriage, but then treat purity like it's optional if we're vibing. And um when you hold the line and you say no, I want to wait till marriage, then they label you boring. They say you're too deep, you're doing too much, you're too churchy, right? Jesus is your husband and all of these other disparaging things they say to you. But if you break your own standard just one time and you say, you know what? Screw the Bible, screw Nicole. These old ladies at church, they just out of touch. They're old fashioned. Look, I just gotta, maybe I just need to act more modern, and I just need to just one time just go in, and maybe I'll get different results because shoot, Nicole's old. These old church ladies, they don't know anything. So you give in, right? And you give in just that one time, and then suddenly he labels you, you're not wife material. That's exhausting. And the worst part, you start wondering if obedience to God is costing you your marriage. But I want you to listen to me. God is not asking you to lower your standard, He's teaching you how to recognize who's really sent by Him. A man who pressures you into sin is not your husband. A man who punishes your purity, listen to this, is not your covering. Let me say that again. A man who punishes you. He punishes you because you want to stay pure until marriage is not your covering. And a man who loves God in public but disrespects him in private will never honor you. You are not behind, you are not too holy, and you are not crazy for still choosing righteousness in a world obsessed with chemistry. Stay the course, my sisters. You're not waiting in vain. You're being hidden for the one who fears God more than he fears missing out. That was last week. Y'all go support that post. So, and I'm gonna be going in a lot on a lot. Let me read Fridays. Fridays was he tests you, and this is what a lot of Christian men do. They test your loyalty, but while they're testing your loyalty, they're playing games and being inconsistent with you. That's not a man, that's a mind game. I said they want you to be loyal, they want you to be emotionally available, you pray, you pour, you wait, hoping this time maybe he'll be the one who leads with clarity. But instead, you know what you get from this so called church man? He ghosts you, then he checks back in. Then he pulls back. Then he asks if you still care. Then he disappears again. You're not in a relationship, you're in a spiritual obstacle course. And the sickest part, the men who actually like the men that you actually like are the ones who keep you guessing. The ones who make you feel like one wrong move will ruin everything. You're like walking on eggshells with him. The ones who want loyalty without offering leadership and patience without offering peace. So now you're walking on eggshells, you're unsure, you're uneasy, emotionally exhausted because being feminine is hard when your nervous system's stuck in fight, flight, or what are we? What are we? Are we in a relationship? What are we doing? But here's the truth. If you're always confused, it's not connection, it's control. Remember, we talked about control seeking men? You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to pass some test. You need a man who doesn't turn your presence into a pressure cooker. And let me be crystal clear, the man God has for you won't play games with your peace, he'll guard it. Put a one in the chat if you're following me here. Put a one in the chat if you're following me here. Good afternoon, everybody. So I just wanted to let you know that it's a lot of times it's the so-called Christian men that are going to give you a hard time. They're preying on you too. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, if you slip up, if you don't hold the line, then they feel like they don't hold the line. They want to gaslight you and make you feel like, well, if you don't hold the line, I'm going to stop calling you. I'm going to stop asking you out. So let him go. Because what I tell you, ladies, always with these Christian fellas is like, wait a minute, I thought you were different. This is what you need to say to him. I thought you were different. I thought that um I thought that what you said you actually believed. You don't believe all of the things that you're saying? You know, what are those things that you post on social media? What are those things that you said in church? You don't believe those things? That's not you? Who is you? Who are you? Sorry, who are you? Like, is that you that I'm seeing right now, or is it you that is in church? I'm confused. And I thought that you were the type of man that covered women. You're asking me to give myself to you and uncover myself. You're asking me to disobey God for pleasure. I thought you were different. And watch his face just like go ash because he's not expecting you to know that, to say that, to hold his feet to the fire. He's expecting you to get caught up in his looks and his fineness and all the stuff that he's been telling you. That smooth talking tongue, he's expecting you to fall for it. And when you do, you're going to be X'd out of relationship too. See, what they want you to believe is, well, if you just loosen up and if you just dress this way, if you just walk this way, and if you just talk this way, I'll like you a little bit more. It's predatory because what they want women of God and women to do is start looking like the women on your screen. They want you to be holy but carry yourself like that. Well, that's impossible because you're once you get to know God and you're in his realm and you're in his the body of Christ, you start to change, which you should be doing, which he should be doing. But the fact that he expects you to act like the women on the screen should set off alarm bells within you that he's not right. It's one thing for him to say, I want my wife to have a little spice to her. So when we're at home, and it's just me and her, she put on those wigs and those heels and do what she do. That's one thing. But for him to expect that of women that he is not married to get out here and act like women that are in the bottom 60 that we talked about, the women that'll never be married, they're never gonna. He wants you to act like that, and he's a man of God, or he's going to church. He's supposed to be different. Like, what's going on here? Shout out to Phineas Henshaw Lurker Text for the tip jar. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So I have to thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I have to lean into the church boys because a lot of church boys, they're out here acting worse than the men who don't go to church ever. The only time they go to church is for a funeral, maybe Christmas, maybe. But it's a lot of guys in the church act worse. So I'm just saying, ladies, be on the lookout for those men. Just because he says he goes to church does not mean, all right, he can't get out here and get grimy. I just want you to know he can be just as grimy, if not worse, than the men who don't even go to church. They want you to be all virtuous while they're out here chasing Delilahs and Jezebels. Good luck to you, but don't give in. Don't give in. He should be held to a higher standard because he's in church. And if he's trying to convince you to we're vibing, don't you feel it too? I'm not going to just dump you because we had sex. That's a lie. That is a lie. He will absolutely put you in a category. He will absolutely put you in a category and say, yeah, well, things ain't going right and things like, is he going to go around and say that you're his woman? Probably not. And we all know this. How many men in the church do we know he's slept with several men in the church and hasn't married one? And then they'll go out and they'll get a woman that looks on the screen and put a church dress on her and dress her up. Baby, you can put lipstick on that pig. It's still a pig. And then come back to the church women and tell her she's boring and she too saved and she can't have a regular conversation. No, she can have a regular conversation, but no, you want to take it to what kind of panties she have on. That's inappropriate But you do that with the church girl, and if she doesn't bend, then you say she's too boring. No, she's not boring. She's just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than the women in the streets. But because that's his carnal heart, he wants to put that on you. And I'm telling you, ladies, don't buy that from him, and don't buy that from the other women that want to shame you because you go to church and you have a standard. I'm telling you, this is your soul, this is your future, this is your reputation. All of this is on the line. His reputation is not on the line, yours is. Your self-respect and dignity is on the line, not his. You know what? He can sleep with every woman in that church and still come away with a wife and nobody will think twice. You sleep with one man and people find out you slept with that man, your reputation is ruined. I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you how it is. And you can fight that system as much as you want to, but it is what it is. They have the advantage when it comes to the sexual market. Men do. They have advantage, lots of advantage. They control the narrative and they control the pathway to marriage. They do. They control who gets married. So if he says, I don't want to get married to you because I heard you slept with X, Y, and Z, you can try to shame him into being insecure. You can try to do all of that, the feminist rhetoric. Oh, it's unfair. You can scream and holler as much as you want to. He has the leverage when it comes to that. So you think about that the next time you're in front of some so-called church man and he's trying to coax you out of your pennies. You just remember that. It'll be you that pays socially. It will be you that pays. Now, you can get mad at the system all you want to. The system is the system. You need to learn how to beat the system. Fighting the system and demonizing. And I just work around the system. And I just know, look, if you come to me talking about the Lord, this, and the Bible, that, and you preaching, then I'm going to hold you to a high standard. Don't get in my face asking me to walk away from my beliefs and my standards to lay with you. You're not that important. You're not that. Hold the line, ladies. Hold the line. She said, ironic how these men want their women to behave a certain sexual way, but then get upset if you want a masculine provider. Well, it's kind of two things going on there. They have a standard for you, but they don't want to meet the standard of a man that takes care of his family. I got you. I got you. And a lot of that is they will pull you into that because they will pull you into a control seeking relationship where it's he's trying to be in control and then you're trying to be in control, or he's trying to be in control and you want love. Obviously that's not going to work out. Remember we talked about those types of relationships. The next one is the men that are kind of part of the street life a little bit. Part of the street life, they're out there, they're doing their thing. Maybe they're not in the streets heavy like they used to. I'm gonna focus on this guy because a lot of you all, you can recognize the guys that are still in the streets. You can recognize him, right? He's kind of obvious. He's kind of a little rough around the edges. He got to apologize every other word because his mouth is a potty mouth. I get it. I don't need to tell you about him. He's not always a predator. He moves a little bit differently. The guy that's in the street that is trying to clean himself up, that's the guy I want to talk about today. He's predatory in that he wants you've been a good girl. And so now all his life he's been rejecting good girls. Like you've been boring, you've been all this thing, oh, hey, Miss Lady. And a lot of times they are very respectful to you because a lot of times the women that they're around, they really don't respect. So they come around you and they call you Miss Lady. They roll out the red carpet for you. They open doors for you. Have you ever been to certain parts of town and then the men just light up when you show up because you're different? And they start breaking their necks to talk to you, breaking their necks to open the doors for you. That's because you're a breath of fresh air in his world. And a lot of men are trying to come out of that world. And they see you as the beacon of light, which is not a bad thing, ladies. But let me explain. A lot of times he can be predatory if his intentions are not good. Like, I'm not beating him up because he has a past or he made mistakes. I'm saying if his intentions are not good when it comes to you, then that's a problem. And I need you to be on the lookout for when he's kind of he's just with you because you're a good girl, because you don't have a reputation, because of your networking, because you're professional, because of you don't have that stint on you. He's with you because of that, but he's looking to reinvent himself with you. Look out for that. And that's not always a 100% bad thing, but if he's not pouring into you and making your life easier, he could pull you down. She says, "Do you predict, hey Gabby, do you predict more women are abstinent, more men would desire marriage, or would they opt out of relationships with women altogether?" I believe that if women close their legs, men will get married because that's what he used to be. See, there will always be women in the streets. There will always be women that, you know, um, that want, that are going to easily give their bodies away because we're down the rabbit hole. Women feel free. They want free sex. They feel like nobody can tell them about their bodies. Who are you to tell me about my body? I could sleep with who I want to sleep with. I could do that's fine. So you'll always have those women doing those things. And this is what I want to tell you, ladies. You can't look. A lot of women say, I might as well have sex with him because, look, it's always going to be women that give up their bodies easy. And this is what I tell you. There are always going to be women that are on the screen doing what they do. I'm not hating on them, I'm not judging them. They are in their lane, we're in ours. Okay, they're in their market, they're doing what they're doing, and we're doing ours. So I'm not judging them. I don't have a heaven or hell to put them in. Okay, I'm not judging them. My job is to warn you about the world. So don't you part your legs because they're doing what they do. You let them do that. Oh, nobody tells me what to do with my body. Oh, men want beautiful women and we want money, so it's all in exchange. We should do what we want. These men, it's a patriarchy and men get away with it. Let them talk that. You hold the line because you have a relationship with Christ and you have your own life. You have your own reputation, your own standard. And what I'm saying is the men that want marriage will absolutely marry you. Well, why, Miss Nicole, if they can just get sex easily? Because they can't trust these women that you're looking at on the screen. I'm not judging them. Look, remember last week I told you men, I think it was here, I said it somewhere else. I said men will absolutely marry the women in the club, the women on the pole, the women on the blade. They will absolutely marry them every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Nicole, no, yes, they would. Especially control seeking men would absolutely do that. If they could get away with it, you know why they don't? Because those women are not trustworthy. That's why they always come back to the good girl, the church girl, and that's why the women that you see on the screen hate good girls and church girls. They have to demean us because the men, no matter how debaucherous they get with these women, they'll always go back to the church girl. They'll always go back to the good girl, the nerdy girl, because we're trustworthy. If men could marry hoes today, you will see the church, they will be lined up. The priest, the preacher wouldn't getting any rest between weddings if they could marry hoes, but they can't because hoes are not trustworthy. Hoes are mercenaries in the dating market, right? In the dark market. Hoes are mercenaries. Sex workers are mercenaries. They don't belong to one person, they belong to the game. So you're only as good as the last trick you turn. You're only as good as the money that you gave me. And so that by definition, a man can't trust that. He can't trust that as far as his eyes can see. Right? But a wife has to be trustworthy. She has to be a Proverbs 31 woman. So a lot of times men will say, I want a Proverbs 31 woman, but I want her looking like that. Well, that's all well and good, but that never works out. It never works out. If men could marry these type of women, honey, every woman in the club would be married. Every woman on the pole, he'd be like, "Woo, come on, baby." Come on, baby. I'm getting a second job. I'm a work. You don't have to work. All you got to do is just listen. All the stuff he telling you he won't do, he'll do. All the stuff he tell, we got to go 50. Oh, no, 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 no. If he could get her off the pole, he'd be like, you don't have to work. You don't want to have kids? That's fine. I never wanted to be a daddy anyway. He lying. He always wanted to be daddy. I'll go get two jobs. Now see, he telling you he's both of y'all have to work. But he'll get two jobs for her because a lot of them are carnal minded. If they could do it, if they could get away with it, they absolutely would. But they know the whole container of marriage is about trust. The whole container about marriage is you having a unit between you and your husband. So if he can't trust her, that defeats the purpose of marriage. As soon as he leave the house, she's on the cell phone talking to another man. As soon as he turn his back, she got somebody sneaking in behind the door. Remember the guy, the basketball player that was married to the OnlyFans girl, and he was complaining on social media. He wanted us to give him sympathy because his girl, his baby mama or wife or whatever used to be OnlyFans. And I just laughed. I was like, whatever. What do you want me to do? How much money did she make? Let her go back on OnlyFans and make y'all some money. Like, what do you want me to do exactly? That's who you chose. You tried to turn a hoe into a housewife, and now you want to come back to the gym pop and get us to get all riled up and fuss and wag and finger wag at her. They want the good girls and the church girls like you and I to finger wag at her and be like, why did you treat him so bad? I don't have nothing to say to her. Nothing at all. I have no. Miss Nicole, she was on she was on OnlyFans. What does that have to do with me? That is who you chose, and you got what you got. How much money did she make? How much money did she get you for? I just want to know, just for nosy reasons, because I don't care at all. That's who you chose. That's who you deal with. So I'm just telling you the nature of men, ladies. The men that are not right, the predatory men, the church men, they come back to you because they know you trustworthy and they prey on you, and some will go as far as marrying you and cheat with women in the streets. And that's why women in the streets speak with their whole chest. Well, he don't want you anyway. He really wants, no, he really wants both of us. He just can't get away with it. Right? Because the woman in the church, she's holding down his family, his reputation, his legacy, but he really wants his carnal mind really wants the woman in the streets, and he can't have that because she does not have the integrity, the long suffering. She doesn't have, as soon as he loses his job, he's out the door, she's out the door. As soon as he's sick, she's like, okay, on to the next. As soon as they have a fight, on to the next. As soon as she has children, she's sick of being married. And he knows this in his heart of hearts. That's why a lot of men are single right now. You don't think they recognize good women when they see them? Of course they recognize you. They see you every day at work. They see you every day at work. You look professional. You speak nice. You look nice. You don't have a bad reputation. You're a good. They see you, girl. You do not need to post thirst trap photos for them to see. Oh, he saw you. He went to your social media. He asked about you and all that. Well, why didn't he ask me out, Mr. Cole? I'm glad you asked. Because he wants what's on the screen. And because you don't give that energy, that's what he's chasing. Well, Mr. Cole, I'm a good woman. All I need to do is put that on and he'll like me. Girl, you stuck on stupid. No, he won't like you. No, he's preying on you. That's a trick. That's a trick. Because as soon as you get off your square and go, yeah, baby, let's do a threesome. Let's do this. Let's do it. As soon as you do that, now you're not his wife now. As soon as you do that, now all of a sudden he's looking at you different. Now he didn't want you to look at him differently for pawing all over you on a date. But as soon as you give in and say, you know what, you are sexy and we have been dating a while, and maybe that old Miss Nicole, she doesn't really know what she's talking about. I don't even know why she's helping women get married. I guarantee you, if I sleep with him, he's gonna ask me to marry him, and I'm gonna show Miss Nicole she lying. So you go ahead and you pop it, and drop, lock it, and all that, lick and slob and all kinds of things. And then here we are. And now you're mad and heartbroken. Why? Because he tricked you. It's a trick. It's a trick. He does not want you to act like her. He wants her to act like you. Get that through your head. I had to learn this the hard way. And it broke my heart. Couple of guys, I was like, I'm not bending. I'm not bending because I know this is a trap. I'm not bending. And I lost them. And I lost it. But what did I lose? I didn't really lose anything. Get this through your head, ladies. They don't want you to turn into them. They don't want the church girls to turn into hoes. That's what they try to convince you. Well, if you just wear your hair like this, if you just wear your dress like that, if you just talk like this, if you just go here, y'all just need to get out of y'all. All y'all do is work, church, and home. Work, church, and home. That's all y'all do. Y'all don't. Okay, so where do you want us to go to meet a husband? Because the Bible didn't tell us to find a husband. The Bible told us to be about our purpose. He that findeth a wife. But a lot of these jack-led preachers are out here telling women that they need to be out, being cute, bending over, trying to get attention from these men. No, they don't want us to be like them. We're not supposed to come off the square. You look him straight dead in the eye and go, I thought you were different. I thought you were different. That stuff that you were saying in the pulpit, I thought you were different. You're just like, oh boy, oh, you too church, you too okay, what's wrong with that? I thought that's why you asked me out because I was different, but I see you're not different. I'm disappointed. Give him that old soap opera treatment. I thought you were different. I just, you disappointed me. I thought you were different, and I spoke so highly of you around my friends. uh you seem to be where what do you mean? I thought like you are a man of God and you're asking me to give myself to you uncovered. So you're not saying you want to cover me, but you want me to give myself to you uncovered. Call him out. Call him all the way out. Now, he does not remember this, ladies. Remember this till the day you pass and leave this earth. He does not want you to be like the women on the screen. He wants the women on the screen to be like you. You are the standard. It took me years to get this through my head. I was the standard. That's why when you walk in the room, a lot of women get kind of nervous because of the standard you set. Just by the way you speak, by the way you talk, by the way you sit, they start quivering. You haven't said a word and they already have an attitude. Why? It's not just femininity. No, you set a standard, baby. And you cute. Oh, and your waistline is snatched and your face card is facing. And look, they start feeling some type of way. Wait a minute. We're supposed to have the sexy down pat. And here she come in dressed all modest and she got all the men pulling out her chairs and telling her how she beautiful and she don't have her nip showing and her dress ain't tight. Something's wrong. No, 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 baby. No, no, no. Don't you dare change. You are the standard. And I used to think something's wrong with me. Why all the guys don't ask me out? And what's wrong? No, 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 baby. I am the standard. Put that on a sticky note. Put that on your affirmations. You are the standard. They don't want you to change. They want her to change to you, which will never change. That'll never happen. Never. Phineas Henshaw, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. I will always find it funny how people secretly desire and want to be desired. The undesirables they complain about. Hoes and yes, exactly. They love each other. They have their own lane. And I'm not judging them. They have their own lane. I'm just saying we are the standard, baby. And we must uphold that standard. Because the moment we get up off that standard, that's when the guys that actually preyed on us will be like, oh, I thought you were different. So now you're standing there with the sheets over your body, covering you, feeling some type of way, when he's the one that got you off the standard and you gave in. So you have no one to blame but self. And I'm telling you to avoid that feeling, that humiliation feeling, just don't even give in. Hold the line. You got the trump card. The trump card is between your legs. See, and so once you give up that ultimate leverage, now he gets to play games and kick you around the field like a hockey puck. Don't let him do that with your heart. Hold the line because if he's the one, I don't care what these ninjas say online. If he's the one, he's going to be, she's the one. She's the one. And if I have to wait, I will wait. I want her. Because when he wants a virtuous, he really wants a virtuous woman, he will wait. Because he knows, look, I'm going to be having sex with her for the rest of my life. Why am I rushing this? What is the problem? Why am I rushing? And you should ask me, why are you rushing this? Are you horny? Like, what's going on? Well, you just so beautiful and you just so sick. Okay, I know that. So what's wrong? You acting kind of thirsty. Just like call him out. Like, dude, I'm crazy about you too, but we need to have a standard if this is gonna work. I need to see what's up. And I can't see what's up if we're just all in the bed all the time. Like, let's establish a foundation before we just all, all super, superficial. If he really wants what he says he wants, he'll stick around. And that should be your ultimate litmus test. And predators will play that game and they will, oh girl, you so different. And oh, you so different. You so beautiful. And they will play in your head. They'll tell, oh, you so different. Oh. And as soon as you fall off their square, he's treating you like a gym sock. Just, dirty gym, dirty socks and be in the locker room, just kicking them around. Just everybody walks on it, kicks it around. That's what they do. Cherish Deb, she says, wow, that's true. A ladylike woman does hold weight, but men don't value you anyways. They love hoes. I don't agree. Baby, of course they love hoes. The control seeking men love hoes. The man that's for you is going to wait for you. You have to hold the line, baby. You have, because see, the more you put more emphasis on the men that won't wait, the longer you will wait. And that's a lesson I had to learn. The more emphasis I put on the men that won't wait, the men that wanted me to skip on my morals, the men who wanted, to prove me wrong. Oh yeah, she don't really believe what she's saying. The men that wanted me to do that, they didn't really want me like that. They didn't want me like that. Remember, I said they don't want me to be like her. They want her to be like me. But it took me years to learn what I'm telling you all right now. I'm telling you the fastest way to the altar is hold the line. Because the man that is he's look, the best time to get a man is when he's tired of running the streets. That is absolutely the best time to get a man is when he's running the streets. Tired of running the streets. When he's tired of running the streets, all of a sudden, look, I just want a woman I can trust. She's not gonna stab me in the back. She's not gonna be screwing the gardener when I go to work. When I can trust what she says. She's gonna be a good example for my daughters and my son. I can trust my legacy with her. When he gets tired, and unfortunately, a lot of men will literally have to be tired of the streets before they get married. When he does, that's that's the best time, unfortunately. Some guys out there, they'll do it. But if you focus on the men that only want sex, they only want control seeking relationships, if you do that, you're literally prolonging your single life. You're literally elongating your single life because you need to focus on the men. Hold the line. Hold the line. Now, if you don't want to hold the line, that's a different conversation. But hold the line. She said, same things happens to me as a man, even though I'm rarely dressed up. Haterade is the beverage of choice. Listen, I'm telling you, when you're the standard, you can tell the energy shifts in a room when you walk in. You don't even have to say anything. It's the energy. You can be smiling. You can be, you can have people just jeering at you. Why? Because you shifted the energy. And you shifted it in a good way because grimy people don't like the energy shifted in a good way, especially if they're grimy. Some of this stuff you all are going to learn the hard way. Shout out to center of the board. Here's 75. Lord have mercy. I got 75 up in the building. Thank you so very much. There it is. Beyonce already said it. If you like it, then put a ring on it. There it is. There it absolutely is. Ladies, trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Why do you think so many women are single? Because they fall for this. Y'all let men gaslight y'all into into sex, and then when y'all fall into that and he loses interest, now y'all mad. And I'm telling you, don't fall for it. Okay, so let's move on. Then you have the clout chasing men. They seek out women who can help them professionally or in society. He needs her resources and connections. You're gonna run into that a lot, where guys, and it's not. A man can love you and not match you dollar for dollar. Okay, um, it will be some situations where some of you are going to fall in love with great men, but they don't make what you make. Then there will be some of you that fall in love with men who are very, very ambitious. And it's not about being an ambitious man so he can provide for his family. It's not about him being a better man and leaving generational wealth. It's not about him taking care of the family and how he shows up in society. It's all about him. And when you get with him, and I'm not saying he makes less, sometimes he makes more, but he's with you for a reason. And a lot of times it's for clout. I could name celebrity couples right now. I believe they're together for clout. And time will prove me right. But it's usually a control seeking man. Let me get my thing again so that you can see what I'm talking about. It's usually a control seeking man. Hold on. It's usually the control seeking man and a woman that loves that wants love and marriage. And they get together because with him, he wants a controllable type situation. He wants a relationship that he can control, right? And that's when he gets in that, and he's looking for clout. He's looking for clout from his wife. Maybe she has a good job. Maybe she has connections. Ladies, those of you that are well connected, you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful. It's not always he's trying to get money from you, because I'm going to talk about that in a second. A lot of times it's just clout. A lot of times guys um, are social climbing too. A lot of times men want to be socially active. They want to get their name out there, and nothing's wrong with that. But they what's wrong with it is that they predate on women that already have that. And so they're with her because of the rooms that she can put him in, the hands that she can allow him to shake. And nothing's wrong with that. The point is, he's not doing it for them, he's doing it for himself. That's what makes it predatory. He's ambitious, but he needs her help. Again, I'm not knocking people that are in mutually beneficial relationships, where you're both giving, not transactional relationships, but both of you showing up and giving to each other as a marital unit. I'm not mad at that. But once it becomes so obvious that the person is there just to get clout, women do this too. Marry a man just for his clout. Marry a man because you want to be on the Housewives, and you know you need to be married or have been married, so you marry him. Like, we see this all the time. This isn't anything new. Um, that's predatory, and men do this too. And I'm seeing an uptick of this, of men that are marrying women that have clout. So women that have clout, listening to me, just be careful. Just be careful. Another one is he makes less than you, and he's the unambitious type. And look, every man that makes less than you doesn't mean he's preying on you. He's only preying on you when he is unambitious and he just wants to leech off of you. You can kind of get that feeling. It the guy, a lot of guys that will love you, it he may not match you dollar for dollar in terms of how much money he makes, but he'll be so good to you that the money is just one of those things. It's just one of those things. You two will overcome that, and he's going to love you and respect you, and so forth and so on. But then the guys that I'm telling you to look out for are the men that don't make what you make, and they're unambitious. Like, they're just like, girl, get on out there. I would never tell you to give up your career. Oh no, get out there and do, look twice at men that are like pushing women into the workforce. Oh, I would never stand it her way. Oh, go ahead, like, wait a minute, why are you pushing her? Especially if he makes less. Of course he wants you to be ambitious because you're the breadwinner, right? He's not ambitious. Or watch out for men who get you pregnant intentionally. It's usually the men that make less than you, the unambitious type, the video game player type. Of course, none of you date that. I'm just saying that. He is unambitious. This is the key word, unambitious. He makes less, but he's ambitious. That's a good thing, because you know he's going to stay ambitious, because you're watching him, and whether you were in his life or not, he's going to succeed. There's nothing wrong with that guy. I'm talking about the guy that makes less, but he's unambitious. He happy working at Wendy's. Like, you're happy with this? You're 35 and you work at Wendy's. Should you be concerned about sex, or should you be concerned about getting some money? Like, what are we doing here? Priorities all wrong. Maybe how old are you? 28? No money? Maybe you need to go to the military. Maybe you need to sign up for the National Guard, the Coast Guard. Somebody take them. Really, you need to get off the streets, right? Because what are you doing? The last thing he needs to be rewarded with is sex. Seriously? You work at Wendy's. Why are you talking about sex? And why do you have a baby mama? You work at Wendy's. What are you doing? You work at Home Depot. Okay? No shade to Home Depot, but sir, you're 50. What are we doing here? Are you the manager? You store manager? Like, what are we doing? You should be progressing. And a lot of men that I hear talking the most crap about women are exactly this, have many baby mamas. Ladies, not you ladies, because you're too elegant for that. But a lot of women out here giving babies to men, doing the absolute nothing. Why does he have a baby? A baby is a benefit. A baby is a gift. He does not get his name perpetuated. He does not get a legacy. He can't take care of that. Prime example, the TikTok couple where the husband unalived, shout out to my mods, unalived his wife live on TikTok. Now she's live on her TikTok, he's live on his TikTok. They're both arguing, and then he unalives her live on TikTok. Like, what is happening? I guarantee you it's a money. So one of the YouTubers dissected it, and of course, one of these struggle relationships, he just got out of jail, and that's when I tuned off right then and there. I said, "See, I keep telling y'all, y'all want to take these basket cases in, and then you get your head twisted back. A lot of these people are unhinged." And so then he flips on her. Man comes home from prison. He beating her in the head to the white meat. They coming on TikTok live, talking, beefing on TikTok live, and then they get off TikTok and then they fight and he beats her up. Well, this time she didn't live to tell the story. This is what I'm talking about. Preying on you. Come to find out she married him in jail. You see what I'm saying? And the last but not least is men online dragging women. That right there is the worst. I think I have a photo of that. Let me see if I do. I had a photo of that. Oh man, I had a really good photo of that. Man, I don't think I uploaded it. I had a really funny image of a podcaster. You all would have been tripping. And now I can't find it. Hold on. Anyway, it must not be meant. Oh, that's okay. Next week I'll have it. Don't worry. Don't worry, I'll have it next week. I must have loaded it up without it anyway. But you had these mean people just mad at women, and going off on women. You got that going on, and so a lot of them are very abusive. How are they predatory? They're preying on women because they want the women to come in the audience. I see this on every platform. It's not just YouTube. I see this on every platform where the men do all of these crazy titles to get women in the space so they can argue with the women. And then after they argue with the women, they'll slide into women's DMs. Now, if you all like that psychotic behavior, go be my guest. But to me, that's predatory because you're preying on women so that they can specifically come in your audience so you can drag them. It is abusive. See, I don't care about men who talk to men. Like, I don't care about that. Right? Because you're talking to men. But if you're making these titles so that you can pull women into the conversation, and then when the women get there, you drag them for filth, or you pick fights with them, or antagonize them. To me, that's kind of predatory. You're preying on women, and women don't understand abuse when they see it, so they don't really get it. But baby, I'm telling you, it's abuse. They intentionally do content about women, especially poor women. Especially poor men, and they want sexual access to women. Remember, these are men in the dark market, but they will use verbiage like they want to talk about marriage to get the women in. And so when the women get in, they start talking about the dark market. They start talking about transactional relationships. They start talking about sex. They start talking about all the stuff that had nothing to do with marriage. And you're like, I thought we were talking about marriage here. And then when you call them out on it, they're like, well, we are talking about marriage. Well, no, you're not talking about marriage if you're talking about tricking and the blade and money and all. Okay, we're not talking about marriage anymore. And that's how they get you in. And really, all this is about is getting access to the women standing behind them. That's all this is. And so when those of us go in the audience and we're like innocently trying to talk about marriage, they don't want us to talk at all. They want to talk to the women on the screen. That's who they want to talk to. They want to beat her up for not being a wife material, for having a body count out of this world. They want to talk to her about who she chose to have sex with last night. That's what this is about. This has nothing to do with you loving God, you being marriage material. Baby, they know you exist. They know you marriage material. This is not about you. Have a seat, get popcorn, and be entertained. Because what he's doing is he's preying on those women. And like sometimes you being there brings the other women there, but they could care less that you're there. They want those women on the screen to be there. And if those women are not there, they could care less. It's all about holding women accountable. Have you ever been in those spaces where we want to hold women accountable? Hold women accountable. Baby, they just want to prey on those women. Those guys are not going to be any better to those women than the horrible women, the horrible men that they accuse the women of being with. They're not going to be any different. Just so you understand that. I just want you all to understand that. Don't get caught up in that um thinking that, well, oh, it didn't generate. Hold on. Um if if I treat him better, he's going to treat me better. No, no, that's not how that works. He could care less. Remember, it's not about you changing into them. It's about them changing into you. That's why you don't get off your square, right? Man, I had a really good photo and it is so crazy. I can't find it. That's okay. I'll use it as my thumbnail next week. Don't play. It was so cute. Oh my goodness. Man, 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 man. But anyway, any questions, anybody? One of the things that I noticed is that I want you all to realize is that summer is a beautiful time of the year. And it's the perfect time of the year for women to kind of figure out, what they want with their life. And it's a great time to plant seeds. And what I noticed is that a lot of women are out and about and they're getting and they're talking to people. And the relationships that you forge now, that you start now, could still be around in the fall. And a lot of times, women will lose the relationship because they don't know how to talk to men. And so that's why we created Naomi, because I wanted you to have me on demand. I created Naomi AI to snatch your soul and to snatch his soul, text strategist. And all she does is basically um, you type in there what he said to you. And actually, you can see on the screen, this is her in action, basically. You type in there what he said to you, and she will type back to you what you should say to him. And she'll give you 3 versions you can choose from, and you can just keep going down the list with her. You can keep going down the rabbit hole with her. You could tell her the whole conversation. You could be telling her a conversation that's live. It could be a text conversation. It could be an online conversation. You just tell her what's going on and she will tell you what to say. That's Naomi AI. That's me on demand. People are paying me hundreds of dollars an hour to get me on the phone to tell them what Naomi can tell you in seconds. That's what I want to offer you. And the last man who is predatory is, of course, we've all been talking about Diddy lately. He's not the only one. There are men who will use their resources to manipulate women who need their resources. She's down and out. She's having a hard time. And this man will demand that she do degrading things to get things from him or be with him. He'll promise her, "Oh, if you do this for me, I'll, give you this and all of these things." And all of that is to prey on her. And they specifically go after women like that. Have you heard men say, "Yeah, if I go to a different country, those women are poor and I can get more from her because she's poor"? Have you heard of that? That's predatory behavior. And shout out to those of you who have used Naomi AI. They are singing her praises. Shout out to y'all. For the ladies that are in Future Wives Club, Naomi comes with the membership. But if you just want to own Naomi outright, you can pay the fee. The link is at the top. She's yours for life. Even with the updates, she's yours for life. And you could even tell Naomi, "Look, my husband just said this. What do I say back?" Or, "This person just said this to me. What do I say back?" She is just going to completely tell you what to say to snatch your soul. Don't get caught up. A lot of women get caught up in these text message conversations. He keeps texting you and won't call. Tell Naomi that. She'll tell you what to say to get that man on the phone. And so the ladies that have used it have sung its praises. Shout out to y'all. So I have to get the testimonials and show you all so that you see Naomi is not playing with y'all. She's going to tell you what to say. The same way I would tell you if I was on the phone with you. I've trained her to think like me. Ivana, you want to try Naomi? Are you in the Future Wives Club? Come on in, wifey. Come on in. I promise you, ladies, especially y'all, this isn't Naomi because she's sweet. This isn't Ivana because she's sweet. It's none of you all, but some of y'all listening to me on the replays, some of y'all got that little sassy mouth now, and you need to tone it down a little bit. You need Naomi to kind of tell you what to say, so you don't push him away now. Come on, get Naomi now. Y'all know y'all need help with that mouth. Y'all talk a little slick. Naomi's gonna tell you what to say. She's gonna tell you how to reel that man on in. Snatch his soul, baby. You could tell her to get more sassy. You could tell her to get more bold. She will get to know your personality and kick out. I've trained her to kick out, just like I would on a call with you, and I will give you bespoke a mentoring. She will kick out a response based on your personality. Gabby says, "I don't know if this topic for live, but I had a discussion with someone. Is several divorces a red flag compared to someone who's never been married, especially if they have kids after a certain age? Several, as in 2 or 3 divorces. It's definitely, you definitely need to kind of uncover what's going on there for sure, for sure, for sure." But yeah, Naomi is for the getting. If you are not in Future Wives Club and you just want Naomi, you can just buy her outright. The link is at the top. If you want to join Future Wives Club, all of the courses and Naomi is included. If you're on the app, Naomi is included. So, any more questions? I'm telling you, the reviews on Naomi is good. Oh, they have more than 2 marriages? Yeah, we probably need to get in there and see what's going on, because the common denominator is that person, and we need to know what's going on. Like, are they all divorces? Did somebody pass away? What's going on? What was the first marriage like? A lot of these divorced husbands, you need to know, was he a 50-50 husband? What happened? Did she work? Was she the breadwinner? Because a lot of times that'll tell you everything you need to know. Um, was she beautiful? Was she, was the face card declining? Like, what was going on here? Like, is he one of those husbands you gain 2 pounds and he loses interest? Like, what's going on here? Did he cheat? Like, what's going on? Right? Is he abusive? What's going on? Oh, that's so sweet. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Yes, Ivana worked with me one on one, and we got to the finish line, and she's a beautiful wife, beautiful husband, beautiful marriage. That's what we produce over here. Let me pop my collar just right quick. But Naomi, I'm telling you, ladies, listen, if you're in the Future Wives Club and you haven't tried her, the link is already there. If you're on the app, just go to the menu, click on Naomi. She's right there. Just say, let's say, for instance, you're out on a date, right? And he says something and you don't know how to respond, girl, get Naomi out. Blue, 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 blue. Type it in. Blue, blue, blue. Naomi's going to tell you what to say. Some of y'all need help, and that's okay. That's what Naomi is for. You shouldn't have to wait to get me on the phone, pay me hundreds of dollars an hour to talk to me when you have Naomi. So that's where we're going. That's my job, is to help, 10x your um your see, look at her working. The demonstration is on the screen. You can see Naomi AI. You ask her a question, she's gonna it you push a button or you type in what your scenario is, and she will ask you, well, what do you want? What kind of response do you want? She'll give you three options, and then you can tell her, look, I need you to be more bold, I need you to be more sassy, I need you to be more whatever, and she'll get to know your personality and start giving you responses that are you. But let's say you're on a date, you don't know what to say, and you're like, I don't want to say anything to mess this up. Type it into Naomi when you get a chance, and she'll kick it back out to you what you need to say. And I wish I had this when I was dating. And one of the girls, she has Naomi, and she sent me a message in Future Wives Club, and she says she's excited. She's going to try dating apps again, because she has Naomi AI now. Shout out to Miami in the building. So, hey, it's all about positioning yourself the best. And what she tells you to say is going to completely snatch your soul. Like, you're going to sound elegant. You're going to sound like you have confidence in her response. What if you're texting a guy? What if he texts you late at night and you're like, ugh, why does he keep doing this? Just type in a Naomi. Naomi, what do I say? He just texts me at 12:30 after he left the club, and he always does this. What do I say? Naomi, she might ask you, well, uh, um, what kind of um, what do you want to happen from this? Or she may just go ahead and tell you what to say, and then she'll just ask. She may ask you questions, or she may just kick out what you should say. And if you want to keep going down the rabbit hole with her, she'll just tell you the whole conversation. The difference between her and just regular AI is that if AI doesn't know you, that's number one. Number two, you don't want your personal business out there. AI, Naomi is private. Number three, it's going to give you generic responses, and that you don't want. You want it to be personal. We can send Naomi screenshots of past convos. Yes, you can. Yep, you can download them and send them to her as reference and then she can tell you what to do and how to handle it. So you can screenshot your conversations you had, upload them into Naomi, and then say, based on these conversations, how should I proceed? And she'll tell you what to do based on you, and she'll get to know you personally. So you don't have to keep typing in over and over and over your situation or whatever. So I'm excited about it. If you're on the app, you already have access to Naomi for a while, for a little bit. If you're in the Future Wives Club, you have access to it as long as you're in the club. And you can buy her for one-time fee. She's yours forever. You can always do that option. It can work for the fellas too, by the way. Fellas, you want to talk to? I'm thinking about, I may go ahead and develop one for the fellas. I haven't decided, but you can still use Naomi. You can still use Naomi because I tested her with male scenarios, and she will kick out information for men too. But she's best used for women, but I mean, men can use it. I may just go ahead and get one built for men. So you shouldn't have to wait to get me on the phone for answers. You shouldn't have to wait. And that's the whole thing here is getting leverage. And a lot of times women give up their leverage in conversation. Like, you don't get a second date because of something crazy you said in text. You may not even know you made a mistake. That's the crazy thing. You may not even know or have realized, uh-oh, I said something crazy. You may not even realize that. You may not even realize that. And that's the sad part. And that's what Naomi does is, she is constantly helping you on what to say until you get down pat, until you can figure out how to say those things and get your confidence up with your conversation. She's basically helping you develop your conversation skills. Hey, Miss Witt, go ahead and try. You're welcome. Go ahead and try Naomi. Please give me feedback. We're always updating her, so she's only going to get better. And I have some more stuff I'm rolling out. We have the Gala Simulator. We have that. That's on the app. A young lady played on that. She played the little Gala Simulator like she was actually in a real gala, and she went to the gala. She felt like she'd always been, and she went and she had a good time. She networked, and now she doesn't even need me to tell her where to go. Now she's getting invitations for events that are not even listed because we helped her learn how to network and work the room. It's not just show up and be pretty and walk in like you're in a Bridgerton show. No, but knowing how to work a room is a skill, and that can only be taught by people who actually go to galas. like, so I know how to work the room. I know how to show up. I know how to get people to talk. I know what scenarios to put you in to where when you, even if you've never been to a gala, you will have confidence as if you did. I created that game for you that helps you develop those skills. We're not playing over here. We for results, baby. Results. We're not playing over here. We're doing this for 10 years now, and I'm thinking about doing a business class. I already have a business course, but I think in the Future Wives Club, we're going to talk about business and get some money making over here. Wives that want to make money, um, now's the time. Now's the time. I think we're going to do that. Also, in Future Wives Club, we're going to be talking about breaking down men's psyche. Like, what does he do for a living? Where does he live? What is he like? We're going to be breaking it down so that you learn how to read men. One of my best skills I developed over time was learning how to read men. I read my husband. I read him a little bit. I read him a little bit. I read him a little bit. As he did me, by the way. But I read him too. And that is a skill. Ladies, listen, if you can't read men, they will frustrate you. They will get on your nerves. They will make you sick. But I read men, and that's why they don't make me sick. I'm actually entertained by men. They are funny. I love being around them because I understand them. When you understand men, they're not your enemy. I always know a woman does not understand men and she's not walking in her 100% femininity because she's frustrated with men. Once you understand men, they're like, oh, poor little tink tink. He just wants some love. And when you understand that, men become so much easier. And you understand your leverage. We're also going to be talking about in the Future Wives Club the next few days because we have some stuff coming up. For those of you that want to be in the Future Wives Club, just go ahead and buy the Future Wives Mastery course, and then you'll get the invitation to go ahead and add the Future Wives Club. But our next event we are going to be doing is decoding him, the male psychology. We're breaking that down. And then tips on getting married quickly. Tips on getting married quickly. Like as in the soon, as in within the next year. It can be done. Ivana, let them know I'm not playing. And the stuff I tell you on the phone is, listen, and a lot of people have not worked with me one on one. I'm not doing any more one on ones. You have Naomi and you have Future Wives Club. And trust me, the Future Wives Club has tons of stuff for you to do. The app has tons of stuff for you to do. And when I mean tons of stuff, I mean tons of stuff for you to do. So, and Naomi is there for you. You look, you have a late night conversation and he says something dumb and you want to snap. No, 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 no. Get Naomi. She will tell you what to say so that you don't ruin it. Because sometimes our mouths are so slick. I know mine is sometimes. And I have to like that. I can't do that. You can't do that in marriage. You can't do that in new budding relationships. You have to like reel that in a little bit. And some of y'all need help. Y'all need coaching. And you don't need another PDF. You don't need another ebook. You don't need another coaching session. You just need somebody that can just whip it out really quick. And what she does is breaks it down for you. She tells you why this is the best thing to say in this particular scenario. And then she'll ask you, do you want more suggestions or is this okay? What did he say back to you? Like she's in it with you. Real time. I'm training her to tell you exactly what I would have told you. As a matter of fact, it will say, Miss Nicole says, blah, 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 blah. She says, have you thought about doing a meetup? Yes. So those of you that are in the Future Wives Club and are founding members will be meeting soon and we'll be talking about that. And so I didn't want to say too much about it because people don't claim that they listen to the inner beauty movement, but they do. And so I just kind of want to surprise the world when we do it. And it's a lot of stuff we may add to it that I haven't seen done, but I don't know. I like being original sometimes. And um, and the things that I have in mind, trust me, ladies, you are going to like it. Trust me. But I want the founding members. We're going to sit down. We're going to meet. And we have some events for next year and 2027. So you'll have ample time to plan for it. When we release it, we'll be talking about that. And the stuff that we had events in Chicago. We had events in Atlanta, and and so we are just going to be, I haven't had an event in a minute. And so I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. But it will be for the Future Wives Club and we will roll it out for everybody to attend. And so I don't want to say everything now because people always, even though they never say my name, they copy every single thing I do. And I see you and you disrespectful. I ain't even gonna say your name because I don't even want to give you any clout. But everything I say, my name of my courses, the name of my groups, I think they copy everything. God bless them. If you copy it in the days of AI, baby, it ain't in you. AI can give everybody their own thing, and if you have to copy in the days of AI, baby, you're not original. Go ahead, have you a seat, baby, because you're in the wrong realm. I'm going to run circles around you. Okay, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. If you're copying in the days of AI, it was never in you. AI is supposed to enhance. Was already in you. Naomi is already in me, baby. I just use technology to make myself be everywhere at one time. But if you're copying off of people now, that's just in you to be a copycat. That's just in you to be unoriginal and you just don't have it. And that's okay. And that is okay. But I see you. And Phineas, just trust me, you all will like the event. Trust me. Trust me. You'll like it. I promise you. What I have in my brain, you all will like it. Trust me. Promise. Promise, promise, promise. You know how I do. I like top notch. I like elegance. And that's what it will be. I promise. Promise, promise, promise. It won't be something where we just get together, go eat, and that's cool. But that's I'm this next level because you all are exceptional. You all are exceptional. So therefore, you should get exceptional events. You should get exceptional presentations. You should get exceptional um, invitations, exceptional work from me because you're exceptional. So I should be exceptional. I should be above average in my presentation and how I speak and how I produce and what I bring to you because you're exceptional. You all are bomb on your jobs. You all are exceptional at your jobs. You're exceptionally looking. You're exceptional how you speak and talk and walk and present. So therefore, your mentor should be the same. So trust me when I say you all will love this event. I promise you. Promise, promise, promise. Scouts honor. So with that being said, those of you that have Naomi, make sure you send me feedback. So far, so good. I'm gonna post those testimonials of Naomi on social media at some point. I'm really bad about that. I get testimonials all the time and I very rarely post them. I'm gonna start doing that so you all see that I'm making a difference. Okay. I'm not just running my mouth. And those of you that are in Future Wives Club, look out. Just go in there. It's tons of stuff. I'm always dropping stuff in there because I don't want to overload you all. But you have videos in there and all kinds of stuff. And the app, I just dropped a mentoring session, a mentoring video for the app. I can even tell you what that was about. That was, hold on, that was, just with me for a little bit and I can tell you what it is. I just dropped a mentoring video about, let me go to content. It was a video. Mm, it was about keep your leverage even after a mistake and get the truth out of any man anytime. That's on there. A man's dog phase explained. Secret to get him emotionally attached. That's on the app. Dating scripts, which now you have Naomi, but that's there. She curved you until she found oh, oh, that's something else. Um Feminine voice tips to reel men in. That's on there. A video of my best friend and I, we're talking. We're just chatting. We're talking about interracial dating and a lot of other stuff. The skills you need to get a man to spoil you, that's in there. All of this is on the app, y'all. The new we talked about the trophy wife. Manipulated man. Why you're probably missing your feminine influence right now. Get his guard down. The new way to date. That you all should go back and watch. If you haven't watched that, the new way to date. Oh, and I'm bringing that to the Future Wives Club. The new way to date. The new way to date. This is the new way to date because ladies, men are not just asking you out and like, hey ladies, let me take you out to dinner and so forth and so on. For a lot of guys, they're doing something different. I'm showing you how to get around that. The new way to date. And eventually this is going to catch on, but right now it hasn't, but it's this the new way to date. I show you how to test a man. Um I tell you if he's lying or being truthful. Advice from a former CIA agent. That's on there. How to lower a player's defenses. That's on the app. Express embracing your sexuality as a bad girl, but you're a good girl. That's on there. You slept with him too soon. Do this. That's on there. How to disagree and remain feminine. Ooh, that's a big one. Um, Say this when he asks you about your past relationships. That's on there. 5 tips to get into his social circle. That's on there. That's a good one. That was a good one. How to read men and how they read you. That's like the basics. Definitely. Signs he's gonna leave you after sex and why. That's a good one. So all of this stuff is on the app anytime. Like when I tell you it's tons of stuff on the app, it's tons of videos on here. How to easily get a man to tell the truth. How to get guys that are easy to marry. Ooh, that was a popular one. Yeah, that if you haven't watched that one, you behind. Guys that are easy to marry. Um, Secrets of Gucci, attracting a socially awkward rich man. That's on there too. And I that was a case study on Patricia Gucci. Ego driven pursuit versus value driven pursuit. That's a really good one. Y'all need to go watch that one. That was really good because it lets you know what kind of pursuit is he doing. How to easily get a man to tell the truth. Yeah, I said that. So it's just tons of videos on here, y'all. Just tons of videos. Tons of things to do. So if you haven't gotten the app, you can download the app. Naomi's there, or you can buy Naomi outright, and she's yours for life, including the updates. Or you can get the Future Wives Mastery course and enroll in the Future Wives Club and get Naomi included in the club membership. So that's three ways you can get Naomi. But I'm telling you, she's worth the money. You all have got to learn to step out on faith and improve your dating situation. It will not improve until you get one of us working for y'all. You got to get one of these coaches or mentors out here has to be working for you. Because if you're not seeing any forward movement in your dating and the types of suitors you're get attracting and getting, nobody's asking you out on dates, nobody's asking you to marry them, nobody's fawning all over you to get next to you, as in terms of they falling for you and stuff like that. It's something going on, and you need to get one of us working for you. I would love to be your mentor in love, but you have to take the step. Because Lord knows, what if I stop doing videos? Then what? Like, what do you do? So you've got to take a step, a leap of faith, and look, you got to invest in you. I had to get a coach. I certainly did. And he pointed out to me, look, this is a problem for you. And I didn't believe him. And I went to go get a woman coach. And she said the same thing. They both said the same problem. So I said, okay, I got that problem and I fixed it. And that's and so when that problem presented itself to me in my courtship with my now husband, I knocked it out of the park. And that's what I'm saying. Um, uh, Social media. I wish I had social media like this when I was young. Child, I would be a beast. You don't understand. I would be a beast if I had old women online giving me the game like y'all have. You don't know how dangerous I would be, child. My mom was a good girl. Bless her heart. May she rest in heaven. My mama was a good girl. She had been married for 30 years. She all she could give me was how to be a great wife. And that is good. That is great. But after my divorce, I was lost, child. I was lost. Got my heart broke a couple of times. Why do you think I have all this information? I'm not afraid to admit that I made mistakes. And that's what made me a great mentor because I've been there, done that, been through a divorce, been through crazy relationships. I've been there, done that, honey. You need somebody that's been there, done that. I'm not perfect. I'm not out here teaching from trauma. Like, look, I've been through some things. And that's why I can help those because I understand. I understand. Right? I understand. And that's what I'm here for. Let me look at some comments on the other platforms. Let's see. Using women to build his own network and clout is terrible. Yeah, men do that. There's a lot of men that do that. Hey, Annette. Yo, mama. What's a fair? Hey. Then she said the black couple that just had a baby. I literally cried looking at the photos, watching. Yeah, she just had a baby. That is wild. That is crazy. She just had a baby. Like she's still recuperating from having a baby and this happened. Y'all gotta stay prayed up and stay safe out here. And let Naomi do the talking for you. He texts you, just type it in. Shoot, you don't even have to think about what to say. What should I say? Because me, when I used to text, right, and I meet a new guy and I'm texting, sometimes I would like write something, then erase it, then write it again, then erase it, and I'm like, oh my god, I sound so dumb. And then and then sometimes I had typos because Apple would, they have the auto type, and then I had typos. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna think I'm a dummy. Oh my God. And sometimes I would try to get the message back and he already read it. Like it was just a mess. Y'all have Naomi to tell you what to say? All you have to do is copy and paste? That is wild. That is crazy. I would be a beast out here if I had Naomi back in the day. Gabby says wife and husband preparation is definitely needed in a certain community, specifically starting around 18 or sooner, in my humble opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with that being said, ladies, you have your sundresses and your hair and your nails. What you got going on Instagram? I kind of give you some inspirational outfits, ensembles that might inspire you to step your game up. I have outfits I haven't even worn yet that I need to um break out. But how's your summer going? You have vacation coming. What are you doing? For those of you that may not be going anywhere for the summer, girl, you can have a staycation. Just go stay downtown one night or go stay in a neighboring town overnight. Or you can just go to a festival or something like that, something different. Go to a neighboring city. For those of you going out of town, where you going? What you doing? Who are you meeting? Take Naomi and the Bible along with you because the Bible is your safety and it's just your word. And then Naomi is going to help you with that mouth, honey. She's going to help you snatch his soul. He's going to be like, wait, wait, wait. Did she just say this to me? And he's going to be intrigued. He's going to be like, oh, I like this one. You can tell Naomi, um, he sent me a message and he hasn't called me. What should I do? All you have to do is ask Naomi, what should I do? He won't call me. All he does is text me. Naomi will tell you what to say to get that man on the phone. Oh, okay. I don't know. Where's Burnett, Texas? Is that North Texas? I don't know what that is. But anyway, ladies, have a wonderful, wonderful day and summer. For those of you that have purchased Future Wives Club, you do not need an invitation. You just need to email me so I can give you the link to sign up for membership for the Future Wives Club because you already have the course. You don't have to buy the course. But if you have the membership, just nothing need to you're already there. You already have Naomi. If you just want Naomi, you can just buy her outright. She's yours for life, even with the updates. She's yours for life. Hill Country. Okay. All right. She says she's been getting in her best shape, getting more toned, meeting new people, and making more connections. That's what the summer is all about because come the fall, you're going to want friends to hang out with, places to go, people to hang out with. And so the summer is a great time to start making connections. You're welcome, Gabby. So if you still want into the Future Wives Club, but you've already purchased the course, just send me an email because you already have my email. Send me an email and I will send you the link to enroll in the membership. Okay. If you don't have the Future Wives Mastery course, that's okay. Just purchase it and then it will you'll get an immediate invitation to the Future Wives Club because it's gate kept. It's behind a gate. It's not for everybody. This is for the exceptional because I do not want to hold back in my private space. I want women in there that get what I'm putting down. Uh, you're getting Naomi? Awesome. Let me know. Let me know because I'm always working to improve her and the app, ladies. Leave me some reviews on the app. And if it's something that's real, like, Miss Nicole, get rid of this, please send me an email so I can get fix it. Also, if you're on the app, I always give special deals on the app. So shout out to those. You can purchase Naomi through Patreon as well. It's the same Naomi, same price, but I mean, Patreon is kind of a la carte. Some people just want one lesson or one thing, so they go purchase that through a la carte. But Naomi is she is just so awesome. I'm like, what? I wish I had this when I was dating. Child, I'll be a beast. I have like 10 or 15 dudes wrapped around my little finger. What? All right, ladies. Be sweet, be kind. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and make sure you are following me on Facebook if you can. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And if you have Naomi, send me your feedback. I would love that. And I always give you something really sweet for giving me feedback. Y'all always know that. All right. I always put a cherry on top when you give me a feedback. So, with that being said, thank you very, very much. Those of you on the other platforms, if you like Naomi, just hit the link at the top and go ahead and get her now. With that being said, thank you. Keep the faith, everybody. I love you and Jesus Christ loves you. And until the next time, keep the faith, everybody.